Brianna Aldridge joined by Patrik Walker with Cowboys.com for a Thursday practice here at the Star. We're going to start with the bad news first. DaRon Bland looks like he's going to miss some time. We don't know how long, but what does that do for the cornerback room right there?
Do we have to start with the bad news?
Yeah, because then I can finish with the positive.
Okay, that's true. DaRon Bland, the bad news is he's going to miss some time with a foot injury. The good news, if you're looking for a silver lining, is the offending foot this time is not the same one that he suffered the stress fracture in 2024 that cost him a large chunk at the front end of the season. So that's the good news. The additional good news is I'm told that he'll miss potentially a couple of weeks, so to speak. If that holds true, then he could be back for the all-important game September 28th against the Green Bay Packers.
So looking at the room that was already banged up before DaRon Bland, he was the healthy one. You have Trayvon Diggs, who hopefully will take some more snaps than he did in week 1. But who else is going to step in on the opposite side of him?
Well, I fully anticipate Trayvon Diggs will be ratcheted up completely, if not close to 100%, potentially 100%. That was going to be the plan before DaRon Bland went down. You were going to look at Trayvon Diggs as the boundary corner opposite Kaiir Elam with DaRon Bland at the nickel. Now you take DaRon Bland out of the equation. You're talking about Reddy Stewart now. He was recently acquired off of waivers on the back end of August, early September by the Cowboys. He's a definitive nickel guy. He's physical. He can take the ball away, go back and look at his college tape, and he spent a small stretch of time in Chicago with Matt Eberflus, so there's some familiarity there as well. Behind him, look for someone like Zion Childress, undrafted rookie, had a great training camp, had a great preseason, back on the practice squad. He might get elevated as well, just to kind of help them with the numbers game.
We got to hear from Reddy today. He seems like he's ready for the challenge, and
he seems like he's
ready. I was
for
like,
the challenge. Okay.
I see what you did there. So this is how we transition to the good news, right? We heard from Dak and CD today. Poor CeeDee Lamb. The first question was about his drops from last week.
It was my question.
He was.
It was my question.
But to say that, it seems like him and Dak have no trust lost there, unlike maybe some of the rest of the world. But it seems like 88 might come out with a little bit of vengeance.
There will be no trust lost between 4 and 88, nor should there be any trust lost between the fan base and 88. Everyone knows what CeeDee Lamb is capable of. This is not simply a first-team All-Pro. This is a record-setting wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. He had a bad day at the office. Like Dak Prescott said, it happens. It happens to the best of them, Hall of Famers alike. I believe that CeeDee Lamb is going to have a huge bounce-back game. Now, what does huge mean in the context of having George Pickens on the opposite side of him, sometimes on the same side? I think you'll see an uptick in targets to George Pickens. That's something that Brian Schottenheimer and Clayton Adams today spoke about, getting George Pickens more involved, more so than just a decoy. So look for both of those guys, CeeDee Lamb to have a bounce-back game, but maybe a really highly productive game for George Pickens as well.
It seems like Pickens will get more than 4 targets in this game.
Feels
like it. Now, how do you feel about this run game? The fans want to see Mr. Jaden Blue on the field. Do you think that's a possibility in week 2 when Schottenheimer's saying in a perfect world he wants to see more bursty runs? You got a bursty guy, but he was inactive in week 1. Is that a possibility in your mind, or you think they're going to wait a little bit for the rookie?
Certainly a possibility. The thing with Jaden Blue is the Cowboys know he's a home run hitter. They know what he can do. They know when he has the vision, he has the speed, he has the quickness. What they need to see from him is consistency in absorbing the playbook and consistency in pass protection as well. He's had reps in the preseason and in training camp where his pass protection looked very good, but then there were times where it needed to be improved upon. We talk about the season going as Dak Prescott's health does. Pass protection from a running back is going to be paramount. So if Jaden Blue can show signs of that consistency-wise this week in practice, I think he has an excellent shot of being active against the Giants.
I feel like the offense overall is going to have a better day at the office than week 1. Kind of no shot to the Giants, but they did not put good things on film on either side of the ball if outside of their front 4 doing what they do. Now, to that being said, Russell Wilson, his stat lines were not great. Everyone knows the O-line was struggling, but there's some familiarity there with Schottenheimer. Russell Wilson, he's not really taking the stats to heart because he knows what he can do.
It's a week-to-week league. It is a week-to-week league, so just because the Commanders got that version of the Giants does not mean that the Cowboys will get that version of the Giants. So the Cowboys are going to need to prepare to play their best ball. That being said, it is also true that the Giants' offensive line is in shambles. Whether or not Andrew Thomas plays this week, we're unsure of. But without Andrew Thomas, they could not protect Russell Wilson at all. He was running for his life. He only suffered 2 sacks, but he was pressured an innumerable amount of times. The Cowboys had one of the best pressure amounts in the league last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. So that doesn't bode well for the Giants, which bodes very well for the Cowboys. Russell Wilson, he'll make a play here and there. Keep contained on him. He's mobile, but he's not Jalen Hurts level mobile. He's not what he once was in Seattle. And you mentioned it, Brian Schottenheimer, but also Andre Curtis Andre Curtis on the defensive side of the ball, he has more extensive practice time against Russell Wilson than even Schottenheimer. So there's some insider information going on over here.
We promised some good news to end.
We did.
So I'm going to go with this. I feel like this is going to be the Cowboys' first win, but I'm not going to ask you wins or losses. I'm going to ask you how many points will the Cowboys put up against the Giants come Sunday?
I'll do you one better. I'm going to give you a win or a loss, okay? I'm going to go with a win. I think the Cowboys walk away with a win. I think they get off to a fast start and trying to reestablish the home field advantage that they lost in utterly not great fashion in 2024. So I'm going to take them for 40. I think they could have put up 40 against the Eagles if not for the drops from CeeDee Lamb. I think they get the 40 burger this week against 17 for the Giants. I just don't think the Giants have enough firepower on either side of the ball.
I would love it. I love to start week 2 with the 40 burger. You heard it here first for Patrik Walker, for Brianna Aldridge.